Hello, welcome to Inspiring Women with ADHD. I'm Renee Allen, the host of this podcast, and I'm excited to be here today. Whew, it's nighttime. If you can see me on YouTube, you can see it's dark outside. And I am excited to talk about why it is important for us to externalize things in our lives and how this can help you. When you write things down, when you take something that you keep trying to put inside your brain and put it somewhere else to help your brain, because your brain cannot do it all. If you have ADHD, you likely have executive dysfunction, and part of that is poor working memory. And that's the ability to take information that you have for a fraction of a second, or even, who knows how many seconds, but to take that information and use it in a way that can benefit your life. Maybe even just to remember that you have an appointment or something, or you need to go in another room and do something and you forget by the time you get in that room. That can happen to a lot of people, but it probably happens to you more than most, or than other people in your life. Sometimes you meet people who have similar things, and maybe they talk about, I'm getting older, my brain's deteriorating, and that may be true. But this could be something that you've dealt with for many, many years, and it's not due to aging, but your ADHD symptoms can increase as you get older. Mine have, for sure. So understanding that you need to externalize things, that you need to not make your brain responsible for remembering everything. There are so many reasons why you aren't processing it, but part of it is you can only keep so much information in your brain at once. And when you have all these thoughts that come up that can disrupt what you're thinking about or what you're doing, let's say you buy a gift for somebody. It comes in the mail, you open the package, and then later you have no idea where you put that gift. You have no idea where you put it. You barely remember even getting the package. Maybe it was part of a package that had multiple items. It was from Amazon or something. And then you think, wait, was that in there? And then if it was, what did I do with it? And even remembering when the package comes in the mail that you ordered it. Do you ever do that? I do that all the time. I mean, even before Amazon days, eBay, we started buying things on eBay years ago, and it was like Christmas every time a package came in because I had no idea what I'd ordered. I had no idea. And it's not much different now. Sometimes I know I'm expecting something and I'll look for it, but a lot of times, no, not at all. So, yeah, your brain can't keep track of things. If you have other things on your mind when that package comes in the mail, you might be thinking, I got to get out the door. I need to do this, or whatever deadline you have for something in your life. You can't process all that at once. Or you actually remember getting the package. You remember having the gift, and it's Christmas time, and you're taking all your gifts and you're hiding them somewhere so no one will see them in your house before Christmas. Do you have one place for them? Do you change your mind? Do you keep coming up with other places? Do you forget that you have bought something at all? I've done that before. I had one year, I was cleaning out a closet in the laundry room. I'm thinking it had to be like February or something. And I thought, you really need to clean out this closet. It was driving me crazy. It was one of those shove everything in and hope nothing falls out. And yet you're not using anything in that closet. So how helpful it is it to even have that stuff in there? So yeah, if you have any of those stash spots in your house, raise your hand. So anyway, I was going through the closet and I found some things wrapped in white paper. And I thought, what's this? What's this? It was like, like when you go to TJ Maxx or Marshall's, this is what it was actually, it was Marshall's. When you buy something breakable, sometimes they'll put it in paper. You can ask them to, they'll put it in paper and then put it in the plastic bag. Well, I had bought these 2 turkeys that were really cute. I don't even know if they were breakable, but they had metal for the feet and then probably were some kind of resin or breakable thing at the top. And I wrapped them up because you know how it is in the stores. They sell these things in August for Thanksgiving or September or something. You don't need them yet. So I put them in there, completely forgot that I bought them. When it came time to decorate for fall, I have my boxes, the one for Halloween and that has the fall things in it. And then when it's time for Thanksgiving, I put away the Halloween things, or I turn the pumpkin from the jack-o'-lantern to just a plain pumpkin. I have a few of those, where it's no longer jack-o'-lantern time, but it's still pumpkin time. And then I get out the pilgrims and the turkeys and things for Thanksgiving. And I love decorating. I think Thanksgiving's my favorite. Of course, I love decorating for Christmas. There's always going to be something nostalgic for that. If you celebrate Christmas in your life, you might know what I'm talking about. But Thanksgiving, there's something, I don't know, it's just so beautiful about fall decorations. So knowing that I had forgotten that I even bought the turkeys, and then I missed a whole Thanksgiving, I just started crying. I didn't cry because those turkeys didn't get to be in my house. I cried because this is the kind of thing that I do. And it's discouraging. I don't really know how to describe it. I don't know if you've had those moments. It's frustrating where you think, of course I did this. Of course I did this. This is before I knew I had ADHD, and I thought, of course I do this. And I just thought it was, you get it from my grandma, because I always heard that my grandma would buy Christmas presents and hide them and not remember where she hid them, which I thought was funny. And I loved my grandma. And I thought, that's so funny that you do that, Grandma. And then I started doing things like that. So, yeah. So there are a lot of ways that can be frustrating for you to not keep track of things. Some of them cost money. Some of them are just frustrating. Some of them are embarrassing. Some of them can let people down. And recognizing that your brain isn't capable of keeping all of that in and not trying to enforce that and expect that of yourself can be really helpful. It can be a powerful tool just to have that knowledge and to say, I'm not able to do this, therefore I need to come up with another way. And you may have some other ways that you've come up with in your life even before you knew you had ADHD. And when you recognize that, give yourself a little pat on the shoulder and tell yourself, that's great that you figured that out and that you're not going around having to deal with that all the time. But there are probably still some areas of your life where you do have that. You do have that inability to keep track of things, and it shows up in your life again and again. And I look at it as an uphill climb when I have ADHD. I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm not using that as feel sorry for me, other people. I'm using that as a reality check that it's not always going to go smoothly, but I can continue to figure out ways to help it go better. And I'll have a better chance of things going better because of that. So what are some ways you can do this? Okay. Grocery list, to-do list. Do you like doing that? Do you like having lists of things to do? Or you use your phone, you actually tell those things that you need to buy to the phone, and it makes a list for you. Do you do well even looking at a list later and making sense of it and not forgetting something on it? Do you what is your method? What will help you? What has worked before and what doesn't help? If you've made grocery lists, those are kind of a thing that people used to do. Actually write on a piece of paper what you need to buy and drive to the store and buy those things. I learned as an adult. I did better as a child. As a child, my mom would send me and my brother into the grocery store, and she'd sit in the car and we'd go buy the groceries, and she'd sit with the younger kids. But we loved doing that. And I was able to keep it all right there and check through it. I probably didn't have a lot of other responsibilities in my life to get in the way. As I got older and I became the person that was responsible for that, not just the teenager doing the shopping for my mom, when I was able to drive and do that on my own, started buying stuff for myself, I would lose the lists in the store, leave it at home, or even have a list, and at the top of the list would say hot dogs, and I'd get out of the store without hot dogs. How? I don't know. My brain just didn't register all of it, and I realized that wasn't working very well. I do better just walking around a store and deciding as I go, but it's not always the most cost-efficient thing, for sure. And I buy things spontaneously, impulsively, that I forget about. I have 2 bags of Brussels sprouts in my fridge that I saw the other day and thought, oh yeah, I bought those and never cooked them, which doesn't surprise me. It's not like I make things like that often, but I do love them. It's just, it's more like a Thanksgiving thing or something. But yeah, so not having some sort of organization for it is going to lead to a more disorderly life, more chance of things not going well. So thinking of the things that fall, that slip by, fall through the, whatever the phrase is, that slip through the cracks. What are those things? Is it appointments? Is it you have things on your calendar that you once knew about, but you forgot about? Did you buy a planner and you never know where your planner is? A planner worked very well for me when I worked in an office, which hasn't been since 1990. So I continued to buy a planner. That was back when they called them Franklin planners. I continued to buy one because I loved the feel of it. I loved the paper. I loved writing things down in it. But most of the time at home, I didn't know where it was. I didn't use it in any functional way, but I kept buying them for a while. And I gave up on planners for a while, and then I started buying them again. I don't know that I don't know why I buy one, but I like having it. I like taking it places. It's kind of my personal assistant that will get something home. So if I take it with me to a meeting, I take notes on the week pages. I don't ever use the week pages for real things. I just use the month pages. And I take notes there. Why? Because I just do. And then on the month pages, I can see my week. I like to see my week Sunday through Saturday. And if that helps you to see your week like that, then maybe you have a month calendar. If it helps you to see your week with the weeks across and all the hours, that's what I liked in college. I liked planning things out like that in college, or even workouts. I'd kind of write them all down on one page, what workouts I do each day. Who knows why our brains like something at one time and not at other times? But recognizing that, and when it's not working anymore, is helpful. And if you find, it's okay for me to spend $40 on a planner, even if I'll just use it once a week to take it somewhere, to a meeting or to church or to wherever, where you can sit quietly, write things down, and take it home and put it on your Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, whatever calendar you use online, whatever your app is, because it doesn't always work for me to do things like that. I did put it into a really small thing originally. I like to see it bigger. I also like to see it on my wall, and maybe you do too. Maybe you can give up some of your wall space for a whiteboard or those giant Post-it notes. Have you seen those? I bought some. They're huge, and I haven't used them yet. I've probably had them for a year and a half, but I want to use them. So when I do, I'll let you know. But if you use one and you really like it, tell me how you do it. Maybe you can motivate me. Maybe I probably won't put it. I don't think I have space in here because this is where I teach yoga. But I kind of want to have space for it because this is where I look around. Wherever you are is where you'll be reminded. So if it's your refrigerator, and you always go to your refrigerator, put something on your refrigerator, or your door that you walk out of, or your bathroom mirror. I like the days when people used to write on their bathroom mirrors with lipstick. Do you remember that? Or put notes on their mirrors. I haven't done that in a long time, but that would be fun. That'd be fun. So whatever is externalizing, taking something that you no longer have to make your brain responsible for, the working memory is going to take that information and put it in your brain, and then you're responsible for it. But if your working memory isn't working properly, then you need to put it outside of your brain. You can put it on a computer. You can put it in a Google Doc. You can put it in a calendar. You can do whatever it is. You can have a Google Doc. Have you used Google Docs? I love it so much. You can have a Google Doc for gifts, for gift buying, birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, and actually write on there where you put it. And if you think, well, I'm not going to think about that while I'm putting it away, then maybe have a notebook in your closet. Write it in there, then transfer it, But yeah, it's easy to lose notebooks. If you keep something only in one place, you're much more likely not to lose it. So if you have a notebook that's on a kitchen counter, one that's in your closet, or one that's on your dresser, and you'll remember to use it, you need to figure out what will you use and how will you use it. If you like lists, have a different colored pad for each kind of list that you need. Alarms are fabulous if you don't mind setting them and having them go off during the day. And voice memos, you can always leave yourself a voice note on your phone. You can access it if it's in like an Apple Cloud or whatever. You can hear it from different devices. Even just talking out loud, obviously that's not going to just stay out in the world forever. But if you're walking from one room to the other, saying it out loud is externalizing it for half a second. It's putting back in your ear. It's coming in a different way. If you keep saying it, if you make yourself repeat it, it's not going to leave. So anything that will help. And I'm a big, big fan of putting things by the door. Wherever you're going to go, put it by the door. If you are in your bedroom and you think, I need to put that water bottle away, but you're on your way somewhere else, take that water bottle and put it by the door where you'll see it on the way out. I used to make the mistake of putting it down in the direction that I was going. So let's say I'm going from my bedroom to the bathroom, and I put it on the door there, and then I turn around and come back. I don't see it because it's on the other side of the door. I made that mistake too many times. But you need to put it in a place that you'll see it, not just where you see it as you're walking by, but where you will see it as you leave. So if you're going to go out the door to leave for the day, your bag of things, and you don't have to save everything for the last second to gather up. You can fill up a bag for days before if you have to. If you just like we do when we pack for a trip, and you pack up that bag, whatever your purpose is, going to the gym, you have your gym bag. When you get back, if you use a towel or something for a workout, take out that towel, throw it in the laundry, get another one, put it in. As soon as you think about it, if you can do it then, because you might not think about it later. So all of that externalizing, even putting things in the car, and no matter how long it's in your brain, it can leave again. Like last weekend, my son was over with his family, my son and daughter-in-law and their kids. It was time to leave, and my daughter-in-law has ADHD too. So I had said, I've got the boys' shoes, and because all the kids had fallen asleep. They have 3 little kids, and 2 boys and a girl and a baby. But I keep thinking of the kids, not the baby as much, because the baby doesn't wear shoes as much. Anyway, so the kids were all asleep. None of them had shoes on. In my brain, that's not completely complete. I thought, there's the boys' shoes. I'm going to be helpful and put them in a bag along with, I don't know, something else, a shirt or whatever that they needed to take home, a bottle or something. And I put it in the bag, and I said something where some people could hear, like, the boys' shoes are in this bag. I'll just take them out to the car, which I did. Well, my daughter-in-law, her mind was somewhere else while I was saying that. She might have been in the same room, but she didn't hear it. So everyone was out in the car. The kids are out there. The baby's starting to cry. It's late. The kids are tired. They're asleep, but they're kind of waking up. And I thought, I wonder where she is. And I went inside, and she said, I'm looking for the kids' shoes. And she's just looking, thinking, why aren't they here? They were here before. And I said, because I took them and already put them in the car. And she's like, so she went out. Well, the next morning I see their daughter's shoes. And I think, my brain thought it was getting it together by having the boys' shoes ready. But yeah, their daughter needed her shoes too. Maybe she was actually looking for them. And it didn't make sense what I said, but then it clicked anyway, so she left. So I thought I was on it. I thought, okay, I have the shoes. I'm going to write to them and say, I can bring them to you when I leave today. Get out the door. I had them by the door, because that's what you do. You have them by the door. Well, they were low by the door. I'm not really looking down at the floor when I leave. So by the time I got to church, did I have the shoes with me? No. And I texted, I hope you have it. Hope you're not, counting on these shoes, because I left them at home by the door. And I thought, clearly that method seemed like it would be good, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't visible. So it needs to be visible. If it's not at eye level and you can't put the shoes up at eye level, then I should have written a Post-it note that said Piper shoes, and then they would have been there. But I didn't. So, yeah. So a neurotypical brain, one that doesn't struggle with executive dysfunction, can hold things. It can take that information, put it in there. It's stored. It's still there. Our brains don't do that very well. And not only do they not get in there, but if they are in there, there's a really good chance you're not thinking about it when you have a lot of other things on your mind, like, okay, I need to go, am I on time, do I have my water bottle, do I have all the other things on your mind. I can't even count the times that I've thought of the 50 things I need to have, and I get out to the car and don't have my phone. The normal thing, so there may be a lot of things that you forget, and having a system so that can be remedied, like knowing how to use your Find My iPhone if you have an iPhone, or if you have an Android or another kind of phone, and know how to find it when you don't know where it is, that could be helpful. Because think of all of these tools as having an assistant, having somebody by your side that you can say, can you find my phone? And they say, yeah. And that's what that is. Or can you remind me when that appointment is? And they say, yeah. Or can you tell me where I put all these Christmas gifts? And they say yes. So you're setting yourself up to have things outside of your brain. It will free up your space for other things, but it will also just make your life not be so bumbly, so scattered. So nobody wants that, right? Yeah. And then also just, always worrying. Did I forget something? Did I forget something? Honestly, at least for me, I don't know that I could ever get to the car without forgetting one thing. I don't know if it's possible. But even if you're just forgetting one thing, it's better than nothing. Today I taught hot yoga. It was a new day. We just added on Tuesday classes for me. And I didn't teach last week. I went to Disney World on my hot yoga day. And so I had to make sure I had everything. I extra pack, I should say. But, if I need one towel, I bring 5 because I have a lot of empathy for other people. And if they don't have a long towel, we're supposed to either have them go buy one or they can't come in. And so far I haven't had to do that because I always bring extra towels. Today, nobody actually needed one, but I had my towels, I had my smoothies, I had my pre-things to make sure I didn't get too exhausted. I had my during hot yoga things, my hydration drink. I had my digital thermometer because you can't see what the temperature is in there. They've covered it up. All these things. So I thought, I think I have everything, but I forgot my little ching. It's my little bells that I ring at the end. I'm sure everyone was fine with that, but I did forget something. And that just makes me go back to that other tool, is have extra things if you can. I don't want to have to spend money on double everything, but if you just can't always remember to bring this to that place and that to this place, and then you have one in each place. I have one in each bag. I have one from my bag for my non-hot yoga and my bag, because I do need to use different bags. That would decrease that from happening, that I would forget at one time. Yeah. Things can cost money, and I don't know. I look at it like, because I have to justify spending money in my mind, because I don't like spending money that I don't need to spend. But I look at how much a doctor's appointment can cost. Something that could help you. Let's say you have a wrist. I broke my wrist. You have to deal with that. You have to fix that. So you go to the doctor, you have the surgery, you have all those costs. And something else that we're trying to get to work correctly in our bodies, like our brains, that might be the cost. It doesn't cost as much as a doctor's appointment to buy an extra bell. It does cost something. But I feel like this is something that's helping my mental health, my mental capacity. Yeah. So, yeah. And even just not having to remember so much, not having to, double check, if you have things in different places, is really good. So I think you could probably think of a lot more of these that I haven't noted. I'm thinking everything. The only thing I didn't mention was just little. Oh, my son's playing the piano. I hope you're okay with that, because I can't stop right now. If they start singing, I'm sorry. You just get to hear it. One of them's the daughter that actually is singing at the beginning of my podcast. But any kind of visual cue, like I said, for not forgetting something, can also help you do the next thing. So it can also be a visual, like I need to take my pills. It could be having a habit that produces the next thing. So I'm going to take my asthma medicine after I brush my teeth at night and after I brush my teeth in the morning. And if you have both of those habits of brushing your teeth both times, then that will be your little assistant, because it really will happen in your brain where you'll start thinking, okay, I did this, I have to do this too. So, even if you make coffee every day, you have your pill box by the coffee maker. And while you're making the coffee, you take your medicine or your supplement or something. But the only other externalizing I thought of was using another person, or asking another person, or paying another person, having an assistant, having a friend to help you remember, and of course not making them fully responsible, but some people are really good at that. So I think I'll go. I don't know if you can hear the piano, but I have 2 different kinds of microphones. One's not supposed to pick up those things. One probably will. So we'll see. I guess I'll stop here. I'd love to hear what you do, what your tips are, what's worked best for you, even if it's something that I've already mentioned, because it's really nice to know that we're not the only ones to connect, and you might have a tip that can help me too, that I can even share with others if you don't mind. But thank you so much for being here. I will be back again. Anyway, thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. Go to my website, renee-allen.com. There's a place there that you can get in touch with me if you want. Join my email list. I haven't been that consistent with sending out emails, but I will, because I want to be in touch with you. I do love hearing from people that say, I can relate so much to that. It helps me, and I hope it helps you too. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.